Fieldwork and Field Tradition. Topic 1.3 Fieldwork and Field Tradition. Topic 1.3 Part 3. Contents. Topic 1.3 Part 3. Genealogical method. Schedule and questionnaires. Ground study. Exploration. Excavation. GIs. Genealogical method. The genealogical method in anthropology is a research technique used to collect data about kinship, descent, and social organization within a particular culture or community. This method involves documenting relationships through family trees and understanding how these relationships influence social structure, roles, and obligations. Key features of the genealogical method. 1. Kinship mapping. Anthropologists use symbols and conventions to map kinship ties, such as marriages, siblings, offspring, and extended family relations. This helps in visualizing the structure of families and larger social groups. 2. Cultural context. The method allows researchers to understand culturally specific kinship terminologies, e.g., the distinction between biological and social kin. 3. Understanding social roles helps in studying inheritance, marriage rules, alliances, and obligations within the community. 4. Historical and generational analysis enables researchers to study changes in kinship systems over time, revealing historical patterns of migration, alliance, and lineage continuity. Techniques involved. Interviews and direct questioning. Cross-checking relationships by talking to multiple community members. Recording names, relationships, and terms used for family roles. Applications. Kinship studies, understanding the foundation of social structures. Cultural analysis, investigating norms related to marriage, inheritance, and residence. Conflict resolution, mapping disputes and alliances through kinship ties. Ethnohistory, exploring lineage histories to understand social and political evolution. Pioneers. The genealogical method was systematized by anthropologists like W.H.R. Rivers, who employed it in his research on the Torres Strait Islanders and other indigenous communities. His work established its importance in fieldwork. Schedule and questionnaire methods in anthropology. These methods are essential tools in fieldwork and data collection in anthropology, helping researchers systematically gather information from individuals or groups about their culture, practices, and beliefs. Here's an overview of each method. Schedule method. Definition. The schedule method involves a pre-prepared set of questions that the researcher, or investigator, personally administers to respondents. The researcher interacts directly with the participants, recording their answers. Features. The researcher or investigator fills out the schedule during the interaction. Respondents do not write their own answers. Allows the researcher to clarify questions or probe for deeper responses. Advantages. 1. Clarification. Researchers can explain complex questions to participants. 2. Personal interaction. Encourages detailed responses due to face-to-face engagement. 3. High response rate. Personal contact often ensures that respondents answer all questions. 4. Control. Researcher ensures all questions are answered accurately and completely. Disadvantages. 1. Time-consuming. Requires considerable time and effort for personal interviews. 2. Bias risk. Responses may be influenced by the researcher's presence or behavior. 3. Costly. Requires travel, training, and time, making it expensive. Applications. Collecting data in illiterate or semi-literate communities. when detailed and nuanced information is required. Questionnaire method. Definition. The questionnaire method uses a structured set of written questions distributed to respondents, who then fill them out independently. Types. 1. Open-ended questionnaires. Respondents provide detailed, qualitative answers. Useful for exploring opinions and attitudes. 2. Close-ended questionnaires. The questions have predefined options for answers, e.g., multiple choice. Useful for quantitative data and easier analysis. Features. Designed for self-administration. Can be distributed in person, via mail, or online. Questions are standardized for uniformity. Advantages. 1. Cost-effective, cheaper to administer, especially for large populations. 2. Anonymity, encourages honest responses to sensitive questions. 3. Wide reach, can be distributed to geographically dispersed populations. 4. Time-saving, respondents complete the questionnaire at their convenience. Disadvantages. 1. Low response rate, many respondents may not return the questionnaire. 2. Misinterpretation, lack of guidance can lead to misunderstandings of questions. 3. Limited detail, responses are often less detailed than in personal interviews. Applications. Large-scale surveys in anthropology. Collecting data from literate communities. Research on general trends and patterns. Comparing the two methods. Aspect. Schedule method. Questionnaire method. Administration. Administered by the researcher. Self-administered by the respondent. Interaction. Direct interaction. No interaction between researcher and respondent. Cost. Expensive. Cost-effective. Suitability. Illiterate or semi-literate communities. Literate communities. Flexibility. Allows probing for deeper insights. Fixed responses limit probing. Response rate. High due to personal contact. Lower due to potential non-responses. Conclusion. Both the schedule and questionnaire methods are valuable in anthropology, with their use depending on the research context, literacy levels of the population, and the depth of data required. The schedule method is ideal for detailed, qualitative data in smaller populations, while the questionnaire method is suited for large-scale, quantitative research. Grounded theory. These methods are essential tools in fieldwork and data collection in anthropology, helping researchers systematically gather information from individuals or groups about their culture, practices, and beliefs. Here's an overview of each method. Grounded theory is a qualitative research methodology that has been increasingly utilized in anthropology to develop theories grounded in empirical data. Initially developed by sociologists Barney Glaser and Anselm Strauss in the 1960s, it provides a systematic approach for analyzing and interpreting data to generate new theories, rather than testing pre-existing ones. Here's how grounded theory relates to anthropology. Key features of grounded theory in anthropology. 1. Inductive approach. Anthropologists use grounded theory to build theories from the ground up, based on observations and data collected during fieldwork. This approach aligns with the ethnographic emphasis on understanding cultures from within. 2. Simultaneous data collection and analysis. In grounded theory, data collection and analysis occur iteratively. Anthropologists analyze data as they collect it, refining their research focus as patterns and themes emerge. 3. Coding and categorization. Open coding, identifying key concepts and themes in the data. Axial coding, connecting themes to form categories. Selective coding, refining categories to develop a central theory. 4. Theoretical sampling, researchers choose participants and data sources dynamically, based on emerging findings, to explore gaps or deepen understanding. 5. Constant comparative method, anthropologists compare data across different contexts, cases, or groups to identify patterns and contrasts. 6. Emergent theory. Grounded theory is particularly useful for generating middle-range theories that are deeply rooted in cultural contexts, rather than universal principles. Applications in anthropology. 1. Understanding cultural practices. Grounded theory helps anthropologists uncover the underlying structures or logics of cultural practices that might not be immediately visible. 2. Social processes. It is often used to study dynamic social processes such as migration, identity formation, or kinship systems. 3. Adaptation of theories. Grounded theory is adaptable to various anthropological subfields, such as medical anthropology, urban anthropology, or ecological anthropology. Example in anthropological research. An anthropologist studying kinship systems in a specific community may use grounded theory to analyze interviews, participant observations, and genealogies. Through iterative coding and comparison, they might develop a theory about how economic changes influence kinship roles and obligations. Grounded theory complements anthropology's ethnographic tradition by providing a rigorous yet flexible framework for interpreting qualitative data and constructing culturally specific theories. Exploration and excavation in anthropology. Exploration and excavation are crucial processes in anthropology, particularly in archaeology and physical anthropology, as they involve discovering, documenting, and analyzing material remains of past human cultures. These methods provide insights into human history, cultural evolution, and interactions with the environment. Exploration. Exploration refers to the preliminary phase of investigating a site or area to identify potential places of anthropological or archaeological significance. Key aspects of exploration. 1. Reconnaissance surveys, systematic surveys of landscapes to locate potential sites. Methods: walking surveys, aerial photography, drone mapping, or satellite imagery. 2. Remote sensing techniques. Ground-penetrating radar, GPR, detects subsurface anomalies. LiDAR, light detection and ranging, maps landscapes by penetrating dense vegetation. Magnetometry, detects magnetic variations caused by buried structures or artifacts. 3. Document analysis. Reviewing historical texts, maps, or oral histories to identify site locations. 4. Environmental scanning, studying geomorphology, vegetation patterns, and water sources that might indicate human habitation. 5. Test pits, small, preliminary excavations to evaluate the site's potential before large-scale work. Excavation. Excavation is the process of systematically uncovering and documenting material remains buried in the ground. It is a meticulous process aimed at preserving context and extracting data for analysis. Types of excavation. 1. Horizontal excavation. Focuses on uncovering wide areas to reveal spatial relationships within a single layer or occupation phase. Example: exposing the layout of a Neolithic village. 2. Vertical excavation. Involves digging stratigraphically to study layers of occupation and chronological sequences. Example: tracing cultural evolution over time in a tell, mound, site. Steps in excavation. 1. Mapping and gridding. Dividing the site into a grid to maintain precise control of excavation areas. 2. Removing overburden. Carefully clearing soil and vegetation to reach archaeological deposits. 3. Recording and documentation. Detailed records of artifact positions, stratigraphy, and features using drawings, photographs, and 3D modeling. 4. Artifact recovery. Using tools like trowels, brushes, and sieves to extract artifacts without damaging them. 5. Soil sampling. Collecting soil samples for microanalysis, e.g., pollen, phytoliths, or chemical residues. 6. Preservation and conservation. Stabilizing fragile finds like pottery, bones, or organic remains for transport and analysis. Post-excavation analysis. 1. Artifact analysis. Studying tools, pottery, or other materials for function, origin, and cultural significance. 2. Bioarchaeology. Examining human remains for insights into health, diet, and lifestyle. 3. Dating techniques. Relative dating, stratigraphy and typology. Absolute dating, radiocarbon dating, dendrochronology, or thermoluminescence. 4. Interpretation and publication. Synthesizing findings to understand site significance and publishing results. Significance of exploration and excavation. 1. Cultural reconstruction reveals daily life, trade, technology, and belief systems of ancient societies. 2. Chronological frameworks helps establish timelines of human development. 3. Preservation of heritage safeguards cultural and historical treasures. 4. Understanding human evolution provides data on early humans, migrations, and adaptations. Exploration and excavation are foundational for uncovering the tangible evidence of humanity's past, bridging gaps in historical records, and enriching our understanding of cultural diversity over time. GIS in anthropology. Geographic Information Systems, GIS, have become essential tools in anthropology for analyzing spatial data, mapping cultural phenomena, and understanding human-environment interactions. GIS allows anthropologists to overlay various datasets onto geographic maps, enabling complex analyses that reveal patterns in relationships not easily discernible otherwise. Applications of GIS in anthropology. 1. Archaeological research. Site location and management. GIS helps identify potential archaeological sites by analyzing terrain, water proximity, soil types, and other environmental factors. Landscape archaeology. Understanding how past societies interacted with their environments by mapping settlements, roads, and resource distribution. Predictive modeling. Creating models to hypothesize where unexcavated sites might be based on environmental and cultural variables. Excavation planning. Optimizing excavation strategies by mapping stratigraphy, features, and artifact distributions. 2. Cultural anthropology. Mapping social practices, spatially representing cultural phenomena, such as religious practices, festivals, or economic activities. Ethnographic studies. GIS enables the analysis of spatial dimensions of human behavior, such as the distribution of kinship groups or migration patterns. 3. Environmental anthropology. Human-environment interactions. GIS helps study how communities adapt to environmental changes or manage resources like forests and water. Climate change studies. Assessing the impacts of climate change on indigenous communities by mapping shifts in settlement patterns or resource availability. 4. Medical anthropology. Health mapping. analyzing spatial distributions of diseases, healthcare facilities, and access disparities. Disease transmission studies, GIS, can track the spread of diseases in specific regions, linking health outcomes to environmental or social factors. 5. Forensic anthropology. Crime scene analysis, mapping the spatial relationship of evidence or graves in forensic investigations. Mass grave investigations, GIS aids in identifying and documenting locations of human remains in conflict or disaster zones. Key features of GIS in anthropological research. 1. Spatial analysis. Enables anthropologists to analyze geographic patterns, such as population distributions, settlement trends, or resource use. 2. Data integration. Combines multiple datasets, including satellite imagery, census data, oral histories, and field surveys, to create comprehensive maps. 3. Visualization. Provides clear, visual representations of complex spatial data through layered maps, 3D models, and interactive platforms. 4. Temporal analysis. Tracks changes over time, such as the growth of urban centers, deforestation, or migration routes. GIS techniques in anthropology. 1. Remote sensing. Using aerial or satellite imagery to study landscapes and detect features like ancient roads, walls, or agriculture. 2. Georeferencing. Linking ethnographic or archaeological data to specific geographic coordinates for spatial analysis. 3. Layering data. Overlaying different types of information, such as topography, climate, and cultural artifacts, to analyze correlations. 4. 3D mapping. Reconstructing ancient sites or landscapes for educational and research purposes. Case studies using GIS in anthropology. 1. Maya civilization studies. GIS has been used to map dense forest-covered Maya cities, revealing urban layouts, trade networks, and agricultural systems. 2. Nomadic pastoralism. Mapping the seasonal movements of pastoralist groups and their interaction with ecological resources. 3. Urban anthropology. Analyzing spatial inequalities in modern cities, such as access to housing, education, and healthcare. 4. Cultural heritage preservation. Documenting and managing threatened sites using GIS to prioritize conservation efforts. Challenges and considerations. 1. Data accessibility. Limited availability of high-resolution spatial data in some regions. 2. Cultural sensitivity. Ethical concerns when mapping indigenous or sacred sites, especially regarding privacy and consent. 3. Technical expertise. GIS requires specialized knowledge and training, which might limit its accessibility to smaller research teams. 4. Cost and resources. High-quality GIS software and hardware can be expensive. Conclusion. GIS is a transformative tool in anthropology, allowing researchers to uncover spatial relationships and integrate diverse datasets for deeper insights into human cultures, histories, and interactions with the environment. Its applications continue to grow, advancing the field's ability to study both ancient and contemporary societies in innovative ways. Upcoming topic 1.4 Statistics. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. For detailed explanation with notes, join AnthroNet Academy weekly classes. Stay connected. We're here to support your UGC NET exam journey to success.